Welcome to the Bluegrass State, and of course, Kentucky Blue is tonight. Kentucky takes on Ole Miss, and Kentucky trying to improve their seeding in the upcoming SEC tournament, and they are playing their best basketball of the year. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. Should be a fantastic night if you're John Calipari and your team continues to do what they've done the last three. Good evening, welcome, Dan Dockich. Smile, Carl Ravitch, those teeth are brand new. They've just been screwed into the brain. They're not coming out tonight. Kentucky had a players-only meeting, all right, about a week and a half ago. They've won 3 straight. So what's changed?
What's changed is that players in their player-only meeting decided they were going to accept their roles. Whether it is the point guard, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, now he's 19-4 assist to turnovers. I mean, look, that helps things out a ton. Just accepting your roles. The inside guys, Vanderbilt, Washington, have been dynamite, absolutely dynamite. And because they've accepted their roles, guys coming in off the bench, like Gabriel, have been terrific. And Kevin Knox, though, look, Kevin Knox running off the baseline is really dangerous. It's kind of, to use your vernacular, it's the Mariano Rivera. It's kind of the closer. When they need a bucket, they go that Kevin Knox running the baseline.
John Calipari's shoot-around lasted about 35 minutes today, which was a statement. He said to his team, I love where we're at. Let's keep doing what we're doing. They'll play through Knox. They'll play through a couple of guys who actually start on the bench in P.J. Washington and Jared Vanderbilt.
A few weeks ago, Ravi, it had to be the low point. They got blasted. I was doing the game at Texas A&M, and I mean blasted. Then a week or so later, they played Auburn, and I thought they were much better, and now they've taken off. I believe this Kentucky team is as dangerous as any moving towards the SEC and the NCAA tournament.
I think that's a prevailing thought amongst many. Live ball turnovers, one of the things Ole Miss wants to avoid. They just had one, and Kentucky misses its first shot, looking for a foul, but getting none was Gilgeous-Alexander. Nick Richards with the defensive rebound.
Sorry.
You want to share with everybody?
Well, I'm watching Carl Hess run.
Knox, no good in the lane, and Diallo brings it down.
And this is the move. They love a travel. Good call. That's the move, though. They like to curl, or they like to fade Knox off the baseline. Pretty good action.
24th consecutive year with 20 or more wins, of course, on the other side. Andy Kennedy just lost his job. Tony Madlock is over there, and it's only his 3rd game. And one of the reasons Kennedy was let go, a lot of people figured he peaked. He kind of lost the team. And if he peaked and there's like a shelf life, well, dude, 6 20-plus win seasons in a row, Final Fours, Elite Eight. It's like, is there a shelf life unless you're winning it all for Calipari? And down the other end, a technical foul is called on Marcanvis Hyman. He was getting into it with Wayne Gabriel. And he is hot.
The technical foul was assessed to number 2 Marcanvis Hyman. That counts as his first personal foul and the team's first foul.
He and Mike Eads were sort of talking about who had the ball and giving the ball to the inbounder. And he's yelling at Wayne Gabriel.
That's just dumb. I mean, look, there are certain rules that the officials are just going to enforce, and in the middle of the court, taunting an opponent is one of the easiest. You have to enforce that, particularly early in a game if you're an official.
6'7" senior. Hyman goes to the bench, and you can see he's still very aggravated. In fact, both teams are going to take a little breather here. Pat Adams has gone over to the review station, and he's got his headsets on. It's amazing. Kennedy left. There's been a bit of a sort of a looser, freer play from Ole Miss. Those at the shoot-around would tell you. And whether it's the improved play of Brian Tyree, I'm not sure where Hyman was going or what Gabriel must have said to him.
Or what they're looking at. Yeah, you know, I blame the players. Andy Kennedy has proven that he can win. And sometimes in this, I'm not going to say, it's just a different era. Sometimes as a coach grinds and grinds and grinds, players start losing what the coach says, but it's ridiculous that these kids didn't play for Andy Kennedy.
right, take a look at both Hyman and Gabriel on the rebound. What happened?
Well, if Hyman doesn't like that, then he should stay outside the three-point line. I mean, if you don't like a guy trying to blocks you out, then how about just stay outside the three-point line, play like I would play, top of the key to top of the key, and then nobody will touch you. If you're going to whine and
yeah, you're 6'7", 220. That probably won't work.
I mean, that's just silly. Now I get that you're going to come into Rupp Arena and you're not going to be intimidated and you're going to go at people. That's great, but kind of silly.
Think we should just start over, re-tip it? I mean,
the 5 worst words in college basketball. Let's go to the monitor. I mean, this is ridiculous. Nobody wants to hear anybody complain at home, but let's be honest, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, well,
that they're even looking.
That's what Calipari's saying too. Like, what are we doing? Let's go.
One of the things that you run into is that officials are trying to impress J.D. Collins and the head of officiating so they can get better assignments and handle every little thing right. But this should be a negative against this officiating crew for making us wait this long for something so silly.
If you're a pace of play guy, this isn't for you.
I'm a pace of play guy.
Just take a look, see if Gabriel maybe throws an elbow, because I can't figure out what else they'd be looking for. But watch on the rebound. Nothing there, nothing there. And that right elbow, perhaps that got under the skin of Mark Canvas Hyman. I'm not saying that is, but that's the only thing I can see.
Yeah, there's nothing else other than that.
Watch the right elbow of 32. Hard to see. I didn't see anything there. Dockich is waving everybody off. Pat Adams is running between the 2 benches. He saw nothing.
Really?
That's what he just said, right? I mean, he looked and he looked and he looked. Nothing.
Tell Noah about the flood. I mean, come on. Jeez.
All right, let's start. Carl Ravage, Dan Dockich. Kentucky and Ole Miss. Down low, Diallo went up hard and he couldn't get it to go down. Another offensive rebound, and that one does get put back in by Gabriel.
Yeah, nice play by Gabriel. It was a really good set. Gabriel made the pass, and then he didn't stand and watch. You know, he thought that Diallo was going to dunk it. Mississippi wasn't going to allow it. Good for Gabriel.
Davis to the hole. Oh, they're going to call a foul on Diallo. Didn't really look like he did much, but foul on number 3. Hamidou Diallo coming off of a decent game in which he was smiling a little bit. He said he finally felt like it was one of those nights where the piano came off his back. Got to see the ball go through the basket. He's been struggling.
Well, if you're not smiling playing in Kentucky, one of the great places to play, you're never going to smile in your life, because this is a fantastic place to play with great fans.
Tyree walked. He's been hot lately. Bringing Tyree, one of those guys that seems to be playing a little freer. The last 3 games, he's averaged 19 a game. Gabriel will launch a 3, and he gets the bottom of the net.
And that's why he's out there. Now, he is a terrific step-up shooter. His minutes have gone down. He's about 15, 17 minutes a game over the last couple, but he is a guy that if you make shot, you're going to stay in the game more.
32% three-point shooter, the offensive rebound, and there was some time to come down with that, but Justis Firminovicius didn't, and he threw it back up, and he missed. Open 3, Diallo. No good. Gabriel battling for it. Both Kentucky players battle for it. Richards misses. Tough reverse layup, real tough.
Wow, that was tough, because Richards ran back after the miss and was in position, and Davis just went right around him. This is a heck of a move.
6'4", 200-pound junior Terrence Davis.
Ravi, I happened to be watching him. He was sprinting, calling for the ball. And you know what happens in basketball? The ball rewards hard play. Like Davis was sprinting. He wasn't jogging and then all of a sudden had a sprint. He was sprinting. And I promise you, if you just sprint the floor, you can get 5 to 10 points a game just by doing that. You saw it right there with Davis.
First free throw, good from Gilgeous-Alexander, a good free throw shooter at about 82%.
Ravi, this kid's been terrific. 19 to 4 assisted turnovers over the last 3. He's handled the team. I think he's really comfortable in a leadership role, and he's long, has good vision, can score.
Tyree trapped. Hyman, who's back in the game, had it deflected, but Ole Miss retains. Another 3 goes up. When they make their shots, they win. It's sort of simple, but this is an egregious violator of not shooting well and not winning. Diallo all the way to the rack. He got bumped. He can't get it to go. And there's some more pushing and shoving again.
Yeah,
that's Hyman back in the game.
Richards, I don't think it was on purpose, but it's going to look on purpose. Richards knocked down the Mississippi player, and then Hyman came in and shoved Richards, and I believe you're going to see a technical on Richards and one on Hyman. There's your foul. Okay, fine. Richards came in, he got pushed, knocked over, and now those 2 guys are going to get technicals.
And that'll be the second on Hyman.
Yeah. Look, in your screen, see right there?
Yeah, a little
Richards
push.
got pushed.
Yep.
And next thing you know, Richards is going to react, and then Hyman's going to react.
He definitely pushed him into Bree and Tyree.
What time's your flight in the morning?
I got an hour and a half ride to Cincinnati tonight. 5:15 a.m. You think I'm in that's in jeopardy?
We're going to be here for a few minutes on this one. Look, I don't think it was a foul on Richards initially, but when Richards went back at Hyman and then it separated, and Hyman, that's when he gets a technical by shoving Richards. I think you're going to see a technical on both of those kids.
And that'll be, if it is on Hyman, that'll be his second. Mike Eads will come over and give an explanation to Dan.
On the shot, that is his first and the team's third. And then we had a non-contact technical foul assessed to Nick Richards.
Crowd booed. So Dan will explain why the crowd was booing
Well,
here.
the crowd's booing because the technical was not on Hyman. It was just on Richards. They gave him a dead ball technical. What's interesting, they may change this. They may go back and look because they just now put the headset on, and I would not be surprised if they didn't change this up a little bit. Watch the push right there. That's not a foul on Richards. Now this is the foul or the technical that they're talking about. They may look at that right there by Hyman.
Don't you have to?
Yes.
Because Richards never goes back to do that unless he's pushed initially. He's not going back unless he's pushed.
Well, you get pushed, that doesn't mean you can react, though.
No, but I mean, but there's a reason he did react.
Yeah. That's why I think this is going to change a little bit once they take a look. And I think your 5:15 flight is in jeopardy.
We got 16:36 on the clock. Should we start over again?
I don't think Kentucky wants to start over, but I think Mississippi would like to start over.
Well, Richards is one of those who usually gets substituted out, and one of the reasons that this team has gone 3 games in a row is the improved play of some of the bench players, and that's Vanderbilt and P.J. Washington, but they haven't even gotten in the game yet.
You're going to see from behind here, like I think it's Hyman wait, is that number 2 that put? Yeah, Hyman pushes him initially, and he pushes into Tyree, and now Richards is going to react to the man that pushed him.
Those headsets are getting worn out right now by Pat Adams. Our replay coordinator is killing it with all these different looks. Watch the late push coming right there.
See the right arm or the right side of your screen, and then Davis gets hit.
That's a pretty
Tyree
good
gets
push.
hit. Excuse me.
That's
Tyree
a
gets hit.
6'11", 240-pound guy you're pushing around out there.
Well, you look at where the momentum is, and right here you're going to see with the right arm the shove by Hyman into Tyree. And then there's going to be the reaction after, which is where they originally said was a technical.
Felt like we pulled away from the gate, and then we went back to the gate. We pulled away from the gate, now we're back to the gate. But while we're waiting here, you said you are really impressed with the way Kentucky's playing. When you say, like, how impressed? Like,
well,
what's the potential for this group now?
I think this is a second weekend NCAA team, and I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't make a real run to go to the Final Four. Look, really? I mean, by the time you're done with this game, I'm going to have 8 Final Four teams. But you know what? There are a number of teams that can play with anybody. I look at the athleticism of Kentucky. I look at the fact that Kevin Knox can make shots. They can go get second shots. You're going to see Washington and Vanderbilt come in this game, and you're going to see really active guys off the bench that get a lot done. So I just think that they're that good a team. And the other thing I like, Ravi, is I like teams that have been through hard times that haven't given up. They get better through the hard times, and that's what I see out of John Calipari and his team.
We see that every year, don't we? I mean, every year. They start slow, maybe this year a little slower.
I don't know, Ravi. They were like 39-0 going into the championship game
excluding the unbeaten year. But generally, you bring these 5 freshmen in and you sort of build them together, and there's a period of time where it transitions into a good team. They're there now.
You know what I think is different? Oh, wow. How about that?
4-to-1 ratio of actual game played with review time.
Oh, hey, look.
We're not done. We've got a long conversation going on because, again, if they decide that Hyman had picked up a technical, that's number 2. So he's out.
Never a good sign when a referee puts his hands in his pockets and stands at half court discussing.
And the crowd is starting to let him know, like, we have classes tomorrow morning, too, we got to get to. Work.
I got fans looking at me. I go, I don't know. You know, but.
And they're showing Joe B. Hall here at Rupp Arena on the big screen. And, of course, they just celebrated the '78 championship. On my flight here, I was with a guy that played on the '78 team.
Who was that?
More explaining. So as Mike Eads explains it to Dan, they did have a change, and you're going to probably see Hyman be called with a foul, if not a technical foul. We're just going to have a free throw shooting contest to decide the game. Is that how this is going to go?
We're going to have 6 of them. As we said earlier, number 2, Hyman, will be ejected. It's a technical foul, you know, dead ball technical foul, so he'll be leaving. There is still the foul on the shot, so there'll be 2 free throws. Bruce Stevens with the foul, number 12. Hyman is leaving the arena, and there's still the technical foul on number 4, Richards, for Kentucky. So we'll shoot 6.
Hyman sort of had an edge the whole game. Started from Jump Street.
Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking initially, where he got involved with
the inbounder Gabriel,
and then the push from behind
on Richards. He wasn't.
That just didn't.
He wasn't focused on one guy. It was just anybody in a white uniform.
Yeah, he came out with a big time edge, and too bad for him, because this would be a great place to play a college basketball. So it is a great place to play a college basketball game, and he got the boot within 4 minutes.
Right.
And didn't help his team. Remember, his team took a 2-0 lead, and immediately he gave it back.
Well, if you like free throws, you're going to enjoy the next 3 minutes. We got a few of them.
And we're still talking.
Well, they're trying to explain to the players, we're going to have 6, then they're going to get the ball. We're going to go that way with it.
I will say this. I'm a big fan of Mike Eads. Mike Eads came over. I think he is one of the, if not the best official. He's done Final Fours, everything else. He is really, really good.
So Diallo will shoot the first, and that misses.
Well, he's been standing around a while.
It all started when he missed the layup. So these are the 2 free throws for the missed layup that he was fouled on. And the 84% free throw shooter makes 1 of 2. Now your technical free throws.
And the technical says to Nick Richards.
Are you up to date? It's like baseball, you keep score. You don't keep score, just do you?
There's scoreboards here to tell me a lot. Look at them.
Tony Matlock, who's just a long-time assistant at a variety of places. I'm not sure anybody has seen a start to a game quite like this in all his years. Have you?
No, I have not. I've not seen the delays again. You know, replay's fairly new and fairly awful.
So you're you don't want replay at all.
I don't want replaying anything, but I get why people want it. I do, but I think there's a human element that makes the game. Makes the game a game. I want shot clocks in baseball. I want no pitchers to be allowed to touch the grass upon receiving the ball from a catcher.
You want shot clock? You want pitch clock?
Pitch clock.
Right.
I want a pitch clock. I want everybody to pitch like Kyle Hendricks or Greg Maddux, and let's go.
So let's play basketball here.
Let's do it.
So Marcanvis Hyman, if you're tuning in to watch him play, you've missed him. He's been thrown out with 2 technicals. Gilgeous Alexander got up in the air, and that's a pretty good move there by Markel Crawford to get him up in the air and free himself up for a J.
Yeah, Markel Crawford looks good. I mean, he looked really confident there. You said it. He got Alexander up. Next thing you know, lifted is only 29% three-point shooter. Looked pretty good there.
Gabriel finds Knox down low. Easy one.
Boy, it's such easy basketball. I mean, Gabriel gets it at the top of the key off of a ball screen. Knox cuts off Richards, and it's just so easy.
Perfect world. Kentucky will run and run and run.
What I like about Kentucky, I'm sorry, Rabbit, is they haven't let the ball die. You know, in transition, they just have continued with their secondary break. That wasn't a great shot there. They could have kicked it, but that's big for Kentucky.
I think because we're flowing so well, we should take a break. Slow it all down. It's going too quick.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Little Caesars Pizza and Gillette, the best a man can get.
Week continuing until March 11th. Got a little dance cam rolling here, and he thinks, like Dan does, this Kentucky team's going to roll deep.
I do.
Marcanvis Hyman 2 tees. He's gone after 2 minutes. Nick Richards picked up a technical foul. And we've had a whole lot of free throws, 10 of them.
You like Kentucky? You've done games. What do you think?
I sure like them a lot better than I did a month ago.
Amazing to me. Again, going back to the second half against Texas A&M. What Cal's saying, that was the low point of the year, right? When they got blasted.
Yep. And they may improve now, given the personnel that's on the floor. This is sort of their A look. They got Vanderbilt in there, Washington in there. Quade Green is also in there. They call it sort of a smaller lineup, even though they're generally bigger than Ole Miss. Positionless basketball as Knox gets it down low and has it blocked.
I love Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's just, it's kind of a Dennis Rodman type, you know. He just plays everywhere, comes up with the ball, knows now, I think, not to play outside, but play inside. He can get a lot done. And I think Washington just attacks, and this kid can make shots.
Misses that one on the rebound. Grabbed by DeAndre Burnett out of Miami Gardens, Florida. That launch, no good. An offensive rebound. And Crawford's 3. That's good.
How is he just a 29% three-point shooter? He looks really good stepping into his shot. Crawford does, jumping up, getting his shoulders forward.
Quade Green 3. That's no good. There's an offensive rebound. The amazing part of what we just saw there. Now we may have another technical. This one may be on Terrence Davis. Or Firminovichus.
Firminovichus just started complaining.
Oh my goodness, another review.
That was a quick technical by Carl Hess. Look, I watched that. I happened to see that, and look, I know you want to keep things tight here, but this is a ridiculous technical. Look, okay, there's the foul, and oh, wait a second, did he headbutt him?
Also, an unsupported technical foul was assessed to Firminovichus that counts as his third personal on the team's fifth.
No.
The first side looked like a little headbutt, but here you got a push and then a little bit of a shot to the solar plexus.
Jojo Selling second at the line for two.
Sir, you have spoken to Mike Eads more tonight than you probably have spoken to an official in any other game, and we have 14:20 to go in the first
I've been
half.
on the road more than I've talked to my wife.
No, but you talked to Eads more tonight than you've spoken to any official in any game ever.
Totally.
Ever.
Yeah. And Mike Eads is a great guy. I'm a big Mike Eads fan.
Did he give you the explanation?
Yeah, he just simply said it was a technical on sportsmanlike technical on number 50. And they're going to shoot and get the ball.
And they did, and now they have the ball. They're up by 5 in a game that the Gears have just grinded on here in the first 7 minutes. And you think having no rhythm or flow would benefit Ole Miss. Good defense that time. And the shot clock at 4, and the throw-up is blocked, so Washington could do nothing with it. Now Burnett the other way.
Really good defense. Really good. Put a really bad shot. They don't need that. They can get a good shot.
That's going up, and that is also off the iron. Their shooting has been poor. They're going to call that one underneath on Kentucky. Not a technical, which is good, but a foul.
Not yet. They haven't inbounded the ball yet.
P.J. Washington picks up that foul, his first. Saturday, 8:15 on ESPN, part 2 of the college basketball's greatest rivalry. It's a Sonic blockbuster. When it's a Sonic blockbuster, that means it's a big game. Tar Heels, they beat the Blue Devils February 8th by 4. So it's number 9, North Carolina, number 5, Duke. It streams live on the ESPN app. Off the inbounds, the jumper from Terrence Davis on the baseline. And we got ourselves a tight ball game, 15-12.
Ravi, that's why I'm saying they don't need quick threes, Ole Miss. Ole Miss has good-looking players that can jump up and shoot. Just they need to move Kentucky's defense, go side to side a little bit, and they'll get pretty much whatever they want.
Penetration from Quade Green. He gets it to go.
Nothing wrong with Quade Green. You let a good player get in the lane, you have real trouble. Ole Miss, it would behoove Ole Miss to keep Kentucky out of the lane from all 5 positions. Keep them going to the baseline. Things will work out.
I tell you, how about the work that Dominic Olejniczak just did down there? He is working hard.
Olejniczak has been great on both ends of the court. Gabriel was late with the help, and Olejniczak just went up easy. He's been terrific defensively, too, staying in front of Washington.
Diallo back into the game for Kentucky.
And Cal's going nuts with Vanderbilt wanting him to come up and set this ball screen.
Gabriel already has 1 3. That one doesn't go, and it's out of bounds off Diallo.
Hey, Olejniczak is going to work down on the block. He set his man up nicely here. You're going to see he's working, and he gets Vanderbilt on a hip. Gabriel late, and if you're late against 7 foot and Willing, it's a problem. You've got to be in help early if you're Gabriel, and if you are, that's the easiest steal in basketball.
Another one. That's his shot over his left shoulder with that sky hook, and we'll have a jump ball and a good battle there. And the possession arrow goes to Kentucky.
Olejniczak is impressive, Ravi.
So far.
Yeah, he's playing defense. He's getting in the middle of the lane. He's willing to go bang with people.
Sasha Kalea-Jones comes in. Sophomore forward. Get about 87-something% of their points from freshmen, which you understand because they play them all. But the one thing he says about his team this year, there is no experience. We don't have anybody to draw on. Wide open layup for Diallo.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was a trap. I thought Diallo got away with a walk right there. That's what I'm saying.
Behind.
You can't do that against Kentucky. You can't try to beat a loaded defense. To play against Kentucky, move the ball side to side, let their young kids make a mistake, and then make your move.
Want to take it to break? Or you want me to?
I'll take it to break. Watch right here. You try to go against a loaded defense. Whap! You get it blocked.
Colin Sexton among those on the Wendy's Wooden Watch, and I take a deeper dive into the SEC, even given some of the outcomes last night. Boy, Tennessee is playing terrific. Florida's got all sorts of potential. And Kayvon Allen is engaged. That's a different team. And you can go all the way down to Georgia if you want and say potential tournament teams.
I watched Missouri last night going to Vandy and play really, really well. I saw Florida early. One of the great games in college basketball was Florida against Gonzaga early, and I swear to you, Ravi, I thought Florida was a Final Four team. They have struggled since a little bit, back and forth.
Tough shot out of the timeout from Breein Tyree.
That's what I'm saying. Run your offense if you're Mississippi. I understand the new freedom, new coach, all that kind of stuff. Who cares? Run your offense. Good things will happen.
Diallo feeling it. No good off the back iron. And a chance to tie here with a three. Tyree left hand reverse and a pretty play.
Everybody was raised up over the free throw line, Ravi, and spread out. Thus, there was no help, and Tyree just went and whooped up on Kentucky. Shoot that.
Green launches a three. That's off the back iron, and Kentucky poor shooting, and just like that, the gliding layup gives Ole Miss the lead.
Hey, how about Terrence Davis? Gliding is exactly right. He took off, flew, man was there to take a charge. He just went right around him.
Boy, it looks real easy for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
And they're letting him take that shot. They want to stay in front of him and make him shoot jump shots. They don't want him getting past where he can create, open up the weak side for rebounds.
Dump down and a dunk. Boy, the defense for Kentucky's not been good the last 3 trips down for Ole Miss.
No, Bruce Stevens just set a screen. It's my favorite play in basketball. Down screen, curled, throw it to the cutter, drop it right back to the screen, and Bruce Stevens the beneficiary.
So you look at this game in a couple of ways. Kentucky's playing really well. This is a team, if they're playing well, they're going to beat. And if they're not playing well, like they have at times during the year, this is going to be close. It's a test game to see where they really are at, isn't it?
It is. There's no question about it, because you're playing against a very willing team, a very quick team. Not the biggest team in Ole Miss, but a quick team, and you're going to see one right here, Rabbi. I mean, this is flying down the court. I swear to you, oh, this is the tight cut throwback for the dunk, but I promise you, kids, if you just sprint down the floor, whether it's down the wing or down the middle, you are going to get all kind of good stuff. Davis got a gliding, as you said, layup earlier, and that's exactly what Ole Miss is doing. They're not jogging, they're sprinting.
So we've had a number of timeouts, and now a wardrobe malfunction on P.J. Washington underneath the Kentucky basket.
Hey, watch this. Watch Davis go flying here. I mean, he just flies. He's out ahead and then just glides past Quade Green. Quade Green wasn't exactly standing in there to take a charge. He kind of got out of the way, but just one.
Vanderbilt to the line. And before he shoots, remind everybody, 2 more Saturday Showcase games presented by 5 Hour Energy for you. Number 6, Kansas. Once again, the Big 12 regular season champ for the 14th straight year. They get Oklahoma State, 4 p.m., and then Louisville, NC State, and Raleigh at 6 Eastern. Both games streaming live on the ESPN app.
Babby, let me ask you a question. Millions of dollars every school puts in the Big 12 to coaches and assistant coaches. Wouldn't you think one time in 14 years
figure out a way?
Come on.
Yeah, your boy Seth Greenberg was like in tears. He had a concession speech the other night in the studio from the field.
The field.
We tried so hard. Did that go off Tyree's leg? It did.
I take the field, Seth Greenberg said. And for the 14th consecutive year. No dice.
Field fail.
If you're Kentucky, I've got to go to Knox here. I've got to run that little baseline action to see if we can get Knox a touch, because this offense has been stagnant without him getting any looks or him being on the bench.
Washington had his pocket picked by Tyree, but it'll stay Kentucky ball. Hamidou Diallo back into the game out of Queens, New York, the freshman. And Gilgeous-Alexander goes to the bench. Pretty play from Quade Green.
First time really anybody's been able to shed a defender. What the defense for Mississippi's doing is really doing a good job of staying in front of each guy. Quade Green got a little bit of an angle, looked good knocking it in.
Stevens doubled Diallo, and that led to a turnover. Here comes Green. He's alone, and he does it by himself. Two Kentucky players battle for the offensive rebound, and as a result, neither come up with a point. Now you got a 3-on-2 the other way. We're going to get a foul called on the floor, and the crowd thought that Ole Miss was walking all over the place. Never moved his pivot foot, but it did. He's so big, it felt like he was taking 10 steps.
That was like the big kid in 6th grade who's so much bigger than everybody else, and everybody's hanging on him, grabbing on him. Ole Miss had it down around the numbers, which is not a good place to have it. Everybody got involved. I don't like when Pat Adams talks to the other official and holds a hand out. It seems like it takes minutes, and now Pat Adams is going over. I just don't like when he puts a hand out. I just don't like when he does that.
It hasn't resulted in a lot of good things for anybody.
No, it means we got about a 10-minute break. A lot of mint juleps sold, I get it, but...
Carl Hess is calling it tight here. They're going to call that one on Diallo. If you like flow, you know, rhythm, we're still searching.
I like being in this building, so I'll sit here with this crowd as long as you like, because this is a crowd, Rabbi, that knows basketball. I mean, you travel, they know it. You make it doesn't, and I know it's partisan crowd. Obviously, it's home crowd, but they know everything. How about this?
Devontae Shuler, good three-point shooter, knocks it down. He's launched 100 of them this year. And another block. Boy, Ole Miss is playing terrific on both ends of the floor.
He's hiked up those short shorts, and he's just playing some ball, Rabbi. He's staying in the middle of the lane, moving his feet, keeping his hands above his shoulders, and making plays.
Knox three, wide open, and he buries it. Nice job by Green to draw the defender.
Ooh, that was a travel. I'd find Knox again right here.
Gilgeous-Alexander to the hole by himself as he blew by the defender. No chance for Devontae Shuler. Oh, a block is called against Kentucky. And that's going to cause the crowd to get fired up as P.J. Washington is going to get called for his second.
Hey, we've been talking about running. Kevin Knox runs. So Kevin Knox runs. You see they pay attention to him. Nobody pays attention. Gilgeous-Alexander, easy.
When he's playing off the ball where he can get jump shots like that.
Ravi, back to you and Dan.
Thank you, Adnan. Tom Crean, Dallin Cuff. They'll have the halftime report.
I think Tom Crean is great on TV. I do. I think he just does a great job, whether he's doing games, he's in studio.
What about Dallin and Adnan?
Dallin is great. Adnan, I'm sorry, but, you know, Tom Crean was the last guy to talk. So I
thought Adnan was the last guy.
Dallin's great. They're a good team, really good.
Ole Miss not afraid to launch a three, and then a silly foul there by Brian Tyree.
Yeah, and they don't need to. Look, I get we got freedom because we have a new coach. That's all fine, but man, oh man, if they run a little offense, they're getting what they want. And they don't need, they can get that three. There's a lot of games where you can't get that three. Announcers say, well, you can get that three all the time. No, there's a lot of games you can't. In this game, they can get that three anytime. They do not need to do it early.
Half their shots have been three-pointers. They're 2 of 12 from three-point land tonight. And the free throw from Knox is good. You think positionless basketball, which is what Coach Cal, what are some of the challenges in that?
Point guard. All right, let's say positionless. That means you don't have a guy that you feel confident, Rabbi, when we get in a 3-on-2 break, 2-on-1 break, that I'm automatically getting a layup. A good point guard, you sit back and you watch him as a coach. I had a kid named Brandon Pardon at Bowling Green. Honest to goodness, he was so good in transition, you just went and said, all right, that's the number one thing.
Right.
All these other positions, fine. Look at this.
Another three.
Another three, but at least they moved the ball. They took it left, came back right, moved the defense just a little bit against Kentucky. But that's the biggest issue, Rabbi. I mean, you and I talked about De'Aaron Fox. How many buckets did De'Aaron Fox get Monk and the other guys just by having a position as a really good, smart point guard?
Good ball movement. Knox may have got away with a push-off. The baseline jumper, no good. And that ball will be Ole Miss. Just think about the point guards, to the lineage of great point guards that Kentucky has had. And you can, certainly go all the way back to John Wall, but Brandon Knight, Marquise Teague, Andrew Harrison from 2010 to 15, Ulyss Fox, and now, Gilgeous-Alexander falls behind those guys. Big time flush on the offensive rebound for Olenicek.
Now, that was a curl action where the defense helped on the curl guy and opened up the weak side. This 1-3-1's giving him a little trouble right here.
Good pass from Green. Really good pass.
That's what I'm talking about. A point guard sees that. A positionless guy playing point guard does not. And it makes the game far harder. It makes the game easy when you've got a guy like Quade Green that can flip it, find it, see it, and get it there.
One of the benefits of having positionless is you have two point guards on the floor right now with Gilgeous-Alexander and Green.
And remember the Bulls back in the day, Michael Jordan, they had a bunch of guys all the same size you could switch. You switch everything defensively.
Yep.
Green's taking over.
Quade Green, a baseball player, big time in high school, and then he solely focused on basketball out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Another three, high arcing three. They had a chance for an offensive rebound, but it's Kentucky's. You miss those, it leads to runouts for Kentucky.
Yeah, if you're gonna win on the road, you gotta make open threes. And again, all they did was take the ball one way, Rabbi, and skip past it the other. You can get that against Kentucky. Kentucky's gonna have to shore that up.
Set play for Gabriel, but he couldn't set himself for the three, so he gets the friendly roll here in Rupp.
Well, I think Gabriel playing well is massive for Kentucky because it gives you another perimeter threat. Gilgeous-Alexander, not really. Quade Green is. Kevin Knox, yes. But Gabriel, big-time threat. He's just got to play better. He's playing well here.
He led to turnover and the run out for Knox. And he gets the layup. This is the Kentucky pace they want to play as they've opened up their biggest lead of the night. Quade Green, Wenyons, Gabriel in the middle of it. Wildcats by 9.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Pedigree. Feed the good.
I was going to say, he's giving us love. Back to you and Ravi.
Dockich wants in. There's a big baseball meeting up at the Worldwide Leader tomorrow. You want in on that?
I want so much in. I want to be the parab. I want to be in the dugout holding that parab so I can just sit in Wrigley Field and.
The parab. People at home don't even know what you're talking about.
What's that? It's that thing that catches all the signs.
The microphone.
Sounds.
Yeah, the microphone.
I want to be that guy. Can you get that done?
Can just get you to hold the big microphone?
Yeah, I want to do it. Stop it. You were 29% free throw three-point shooter. You don't need to shoot that.
2 of 16 from three-point land. And we're going to get a push on the baseline. No offensive foul. They're going to call that on Terrence Davis.
The penalty is on Davis. That's his first in the team's night.
For Davis, his first. How about the challenges that Tony Madlock is facing? Andy Kennedy came in and actually thought he had a real legit shot this year to have a really good team.
Yeah, and then guys didn't listen. You know, I replaced Kelvin Sampson at the end of 2008, about this time of year, and the challenges are coupleful. With my group, it was such a mess. Tom Crean did an unbelievable job of cleaning it up the next year. At least with Tony Madlock, he has recruited these guys. He knows these guys. And you said it earlier, you know, there's a comfort now, you know, and that comfort is not necessarily good. Everybody wants to play loose, right? Until you start taking bad shots and not guarding. And Andy Kennedy was a great basketball coach, I think. And Andy Kennedy did a fantastic job here. I blame the players. I mean, how can you go play for a college and not listen to the coach? I mean, you might as well not go to that school to begin with. And if the reason Andy Kennedy got out is he felt he didn't connect with this particular group, that's not on Andy Kennedy. That's on this particular group.
Bounce pass down low and a dunk through Stevens. Some really impressive numbers for Andy Kennedy. And remember, he had announced he was going to retire at the end of the season, and then there was a real bad loss, and he just said, you know, I thought maybe the announcement that I was going to leave would fire the team up or get them to play more focused. That didn't work, and he said, let's just cut our losses here.
Yeah, I have a saying that I live by. No good deed goes unpunished. Yeah. So you think you're doing something right for kids, and the other saying I live by is modern players consider kindness weakness.
Yeah, I'd heard the other one before. That one feels more original.
Which one? I'm not saying they're original. I'm just saying I've learned over the course of my years that players look at kindness as weakness. They don't look at it as, oh, man, you're my guy. They look at it as, oh, really? What else can I get away with? Yeah.
Fine line, though, isn't it? Because some of the players feel like when you are hard on them, they can also abandon ship.
And that's why I love the job that Calipari does here. I mean, Calipari has the best of the best, right? I mean, recruits the top players in the country and gives them nothing. Wears them out every day, every game.
Gilgeous Alexander, boy, he looked like he got fouled. He's looking for one, but the run out for Ole Miss. Burnett launches a three. That's off to the right.
Could have driven that basketball. Tony Matlock not exactly excited about that shot. He thought he could have driven as well. You've got to take advantage of Kentucky in transition and take the ball at the rim. As Tom Crean just said, play a little inside out.
Coach Calipari looking for something to kick. He couldn't find anything that wouldn't result in an injury. You saw that too?
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful.
You know, if at first, or at least if at the first 16 you don't succeed, keep doing it.
And Coach Cal going all in on Quade Green. He doesn't care that Quade Green made a game winner against Vanderbilt.
Oh, man. Denied by the rim. Terrence Davis had a dunk, and he came up inches short. Now Green the other way kisses it off the window.
And Green ran. We talk about running. Green ran. Mississippi was back, but Mississippi was just back hanging out. Mississippi wasn't back competing defensively. Quade Green ran, got it, took advantage of Mississippi State or Mississippi's laziness.
Air ball three, loose ball, Kentucky's.
Same thing here, nobody back.
Look out, Knox.
A three bouncer, and nobody was back for Mississippi. 1, 2, 2 bouncer, my bad.
11-point lead, largest for Kentucky, a team that in their last 3 wins has scored 80 or more in each of those games, and they are well on pace to go way past that.
We hadn't heard from Carl Hess in a while, so now we do. Little transition, now nobody back, nobody rotating back. Oh, it's just 1-2 bouncer. You don't see that very often. Usually teams hustle back a little better. You see nobody, and I mean nobody, hustling back for Ole Miss. This team and its lack of success was not an Andy Kennedy problem. This is a heart problem for Mississippi.
Terrence Davis having a monster first half point-wise. That's his 15th point of the game. He's averaging 13 on the season. Now he's got 16, everyone else with 21. With a minute 18, he'll come out likely for the rest of the half, unless it's just an offense for defense and they get the ball back.
They're throwing everything at him. Now you're going to see a little John Wooden 2-2-1 3-quarter court press just to disrupt the tad. Yeah, this is pretty smart. They like Knox on this side paired up with Quade Green.
That's a reach on Crawford.
Reason they like it, Ravi, is they took the ball away. They've seen in the zone that the left side is slower, so you pair 2 shooters, take it away from the shooters, bring it back, make the bottom man in a 2-3 zone have to make a decision. Do I guard the wing or do I stay with the baseline? Pretty good move by John Calipari. People that say John Calipari just throws the ball out have no idea what they are talking about. This team is incredibly well schooled every single year. And every single year he basically has to start over. There are not 5 coaches in college basketball that coach a team better than John Calipari coaches his team.
Victim of his own success.
Yeah, I mean,
meaning, hey, you get blue chippers, 5 stars every. Of course you're going to win.
Well, then good
You're
for
saying
him.
no. You're saying there's a lot more to it than that.
There's a ton more to it. If he, you know, this could be a mess, given all that we've seen coming out of college basketball. There you go.
Net gets stuck as Burnett buries another 3.
This could be a mess. We've seen so much entitlement out of players, both current and guys that have been one and dones in college basketball, and we've seen such stupidity. Well, you know, the truth of the matter is John Calipari keeps a lid on the best of the best, and it's really impressive.
Take a timeout with 35 to go in the first half. Well, this is a graphic that kind of speaks for itself, and it makes a lot of sense, and it's kind of obvious. But the fact is you're getting over 50% the last 2 years and 3 of the last 5 of your points from freshmen. So just because you're a freshman doesn't mean you just come in and you can score and play. It is college basketball. Like, you're leaving high school to come here and do that, and yet they're doing it to almost 70%.
Yeah, and these other guys are trying too. As you know, the great Joby Wright, assistant in Indiana when I was there, used to say they're on scholarship as well. I see just that. They're playing against a 2-3 zone, right? So they call timeout. Calipari sets an unbelievably good set where a big screens the other. They go high-low. There are, again, I'm going to say it, there aren't 10 schools in the country, 5 schools in the country that are so well coached. There just aren't.
That one goes in by Tyree as the first half clock expires. 100. Most points by Kentucky in a half in an SEC game this season. 3rd straight game they've scored over 40. 54 is their most. A lot of numbers for Adnan and the crew at the half. Welcome back, everyone. Shades on. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. Along with the great Dan Dockich, I'm Carl Ravitch. Slow start, but Kentucky ends up putting 50 on the board, the most they have scored in the first half of an SEC game. And at your first UK game, ESPN2 are now alerted to the fact that he's witnessed history for the first time, an SEC 50 for Kentucky. Ole Miss took a lot of threes. They made 5 of 20. But it looked like the point guards really helped Kentucky get it going. And then Kevin Knox, kind of a quiet 13.
Yeah, I thought Gabriel and Knox were both quiet. They combined for 25 points. Quade Green was really good as well, but just running the floor has been big for Kentucky. I talked to Todd Abernathy, assistant coach, former All-SEC player, and he said a couple things. He said, look, we've got to get back on defense. We got to make sure the inside gets solidified, and really they weren't able to do that defensively. Ole Miss wasn't, but Kentucky also got pretty good play out of Quade Green. You made the comment that between Green and Gilgeous-Alexander, they were 19.7 assists.
Yeah. 5 of 20 from three-point land, so they take 20 of their 42 shots from beyond the arc. Still a game, down 8. And if you're just joining us, Mark Canvas Hyman, one of their starters, a senior, thrown out after a second technical within the first 4 minutes of the game. Stevens got hit on the head, and they're going to get a foul on Gabriel.
Yeah, good action coming out to start the second half. Baseline action, the same stuff Kentucky runs for Kevin Knox. Mississippi did right there, got a foul, isolated the post.
There's the numbers of the two guys that primarily have handled the ball for Kentucky tonight. Good wraparound, blocked from behind, and there's a goaltending on Richards. Olenichik feels like he's had a much bigger impact on the game as he picked up his 6th point now.
He's had 3 blocks. I think he's been great. I think he's been a real bright spot on both ends of the court for Mississippi. He has solidified the middle. He's been very, very willing to bang, battle. There's the baseline stuff. You go over the top, he fades it. Kevin Knox does. Now they're going to bring him this way. He's going to curl it.
Didn't follow his shot, wouldn't have got it anyway, but you start the second half with both Green and Gilgeous-Alexander on the floor. Diallo sits to start the second half. Richards, who did start the game, still on the floor. So there's a change for Calipari.
I thought Diallo was okay. I thought that he just didn't see the ball go in like he probably needed to, but I thought he took decent shots. He's only 1 for 4, but I felt better watching Diallo this time than I have the previous 2 games that I did. One was at Auburn and one was at Texas A&M.
Olenichik picks up his first. They set up Gabriel, who did hit a 3 in the first half, and he buries a second one.
That is huge. I mean, that is enormous for Kentucky moving forward because Gabriel has good size. He can go down and battle for rebounds. He's long, and for him to be able to step out, be a stretch 4, big time for Kentucky.
Gabriel's sister played at Boston College, and he's a sophomore. That ball short off the front iron, and Richards picks up the rebound. Green pushes, and the ball deflected out of bounds. It'll be Kentucky's. Born in war-torn Sudan was Wenyen Gabriel. As a baby, he and his family escaped. Went to Egypt. He helped teach his mother English. She became a nursing assistant. Offensive foul, says Carl Hess.
And I don't think Carl Hess is wrong here. I think that Kevin Knox had made up his mind. He was going to drive to the baseline, and the defense understood that, and I think Carl Hess made a good call. And Calipari is screaming at Kevin Knox to just be patient. Because, look, they're running this action for him, Ravi. They're bringing him off one way. He doesn't get it. They bring him off the other. Patience being a virtue.
That is what they say. That is not fond of patience.
I'm a Cub fan.
That one rolls in over the rim. Richards thought about blocking it. He realized it would have been a goaltend, and Olenichik picks up his 4th point in the second half.
There's nothing wrong with Olenichik. Olenichik is setting screens and making himself available.
Vanderbilt getting set to check in for Kentucky as Gilgeous-Alexander has it deflected away by Terrence Davis. And Tyree pushes. He threw it off of his own player, Olenichik, who had no chance to catch that.
And we're going to call that on Gilgeous-Alexander kicking the basketball.
Checking in for Kentucky is Jared Vanderbilt coming on these contracts.
Well, you're a baseball fan. Olenichik is talking right now with Tyree. That was a 98-mile-an-hour fastball from 3 feet away.
Buster Posey may not have been able to come up with that bad boy.
Exactly.
Or Wilson Contreras would have, though.
Look at you with your Cub catching reference.
We start on Randy Hundley.
Stevens, 3, right on target. Stevens picks up his first 3 of the night. And this is a game.
Yeah, it is. Auburn did to Gabriel what Gabriel did to Auburn. Four-man screen, step back, drill a 3.
Gabriel's got 15 tonight. His season high is 16. Screen for Gilgeous-Alexander, contested. That's going to be a foul. And they're going to call it on Davis. His second.
Little ball screen pop. Stretch 4 has become the player in basketball, both in the pros and in college, having a guy that can step out after setting a screen. Pretty good stuff. Reason being, it's difficult for a big guy to play 2 things. He's got to play a ball screen, and then he's got to get out to a shooter. It's very difficult for bigs.
Tip off your weekend with our NBA Friday doubleheader at 8 Eastern time. DeMar DeRozan, the Eastern Conference current leading Raptors in D.C. to take on Bradley Beal and the Wizards. And then Karl Anthony Towns, the big cat leading the T-Wolves against the slam dunk champ Donovan Mitchell of Louisville fame. And the Jazz, our coverage starts NBA Countdown at 7 on ESPN and the ESPN app.
Karl Anthony Towns, a great pro. People saw that coming. But if somebody told you they saw Donovan Mitchell being as good in his first year as he has been, they are flat lying to you.
Flat line or flat line?
Flat, L-Y-I-N-G.
Yeah, flat line, yeah. It becomes Darrell Griffith when he gets to the NBA. Donovan Mitchell. Davis, 3-ball corner, buries it. And they are within 4.
That was really good offense. Screen was set against the zone. 3-quarter court pickup for Kentucky. And Davis just ran to the corner. They got a little pin down screen or pin in screen. Crowd's a little nervous here, Ravi.
He's got 19. Tyree late. It rattles out. And here comes Tyree, who played with Karl Anthony Towns in high school. That last name, Tyree, ring a bell, sports-wise, Super Bowl catch.
Catch off your face.
That's his cousin.
You know, Donovan Mitchell's dad is an executive with the New York Mets, right?
Yeah, I did know that.
Did you?
Yes.
I knew you would. I'm trying to slip something by you baseball-wise. It's pretty good. See the screen right there? Just a little pin in. Vanderbilt really didn't fight it. Didn't get out to the hottest guy in the building, Davis. Steve Grody.
You know who threw the pass that Tyree caught?
Yeah, Eli Manning.
And where'd he go?
Went right here, Ole Miss.
Boom.
Where'd his dad go?
For 20. I'm going to go with Ole Miss. Speaking of his dad and his family, how about his brother and the way that team is playing for Rick Barnes right now?
Well, Tennessee's tough. Woo. They are tough. They are tough on tough. They are a physical team. Rick Barnes can coach the game of basketball, and Tyree can shoot the ball.
No doubt. 58-54, Ole Miss hanging around.
Kentucky's interest in defense can only be described as passing.
Yes. Both teams haven't really dug in. Knox, isolation, runner. No good. And Ole Miss with a board. A chance to pull within 2 or 1. Trapped, and Vanderbilt got his hands on it. The ball's on the floor. And Knox, did he get fouled? Yes, he did. He'll go to the bench before he goes to the free throw line. Will take a timeout. Ole Miss shooting better from 3. Have got it within 4 here at Rupp. Rupp Arena open in the mid-70s along with Dan Dockage, Karl Ravitch. They put a ton of money into the continuing refurbishment of it. And man, the fans here turn out. Points by location. So you get your 2-point location, then you get your 3-point location, and the stripe. It's all about location.
Location, 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 right? I mean, real estate, pitching, and basketball, apparently.
No doubt about it.
Those free throws a little skewed from early in the game where we sat around as the referees tried to figure out who did what to whom.
Is there any 2 front court players that have more letters in their last name combined than Ole Miss and Firminovic.
Not on the same team. You gotta give that a little thought. There's got to be some NBA guys. My people, the Serbians, we have some names usually. We'll throw some names. The Lithuanians usually have something pretty good going.
That's 20 letters between the two of them. Imagine if Firminovic was a guard. I mean, you have the letters all over.
I'm doing everything I can not to say his name. I'm letting you handle that.
Bodies fly. So the towel comes out.
I think Mike Eads just looked at Carl Hessen out of the side of his mouth. The two referees, he said, hey, we're reviewing this. Let's go.
Davis just picked up his third foul with 15 to go. Already, Mark-Andres Hyman thrown out of the game. That was early in the first half. And there's not a ton of depth on this team as Diallo back into the game for Kentucky.
I'll tell you this, if Mississippi had played this way, this hard, all year long, they would not be in the position that they're in. This is a pretty feisty crew. Oh, nice set. Well, that was good. Hit the post and bring Knox off the opposite block, and they got a screen for him wide open. Just happened to miss favorite spot.
Davis again. Got it!
He is the hottest guy in the. He came sprinting off that pin down, drilled it, and let the entire state of Kentucky know.
Davis has 22. P.J. Washington hasn't gotten on track tonight. They keep setting up Knox. This time he drives it with his left and a pretty move.
And a great pass because the Mississippi player had jumped the passing lane. Gilgeous-Alexander slipped it underneath the kid. Really nice pass, better drive.
Tyree, that's deep, way deep, and it goes off the backboard.
And no need. You got to look at Davis.
Good pass. Vanderbilt for the flush underneath for Washington.
Look, you got to go to Davis. Basketball is not a democracy, Ravi. Shooters shoot, passers pass. If you can't do either, you screen.
He rises over Diallo. That one long. How about Vanderbilt with the rebound? And no foul. He loses it out of bounds.
Watch this pass. This is pretty good. Jumps the pass and slips it right underneath him, and Kevin Knox keeps his chin on the rim and lays it in.
So Vanderbilt's getting a lot more time, and Calipari said today at the shoot-around, he said, if I could just get some of the other guys, if we could literally have Nick Richards and others play as hard as Vanderbilt, they'd get more time. But he's got a motor that few others are demonstrating, and that's why he's getting a lot of action.
Yeah, and he's communicative. I mean, he's talking on defense. And I said earlier, he's a bit of a steal form. He's a bit of a Dennis Rodman type guy.
Knox loses it.
Great play. Ravi, that was a great, not a good, a great play by Crawford.
That was the positionless deficiency there. You had Knox bringing the ball up with Diallo on one wing, and the left hand too hard for Bolanichik.
That was an air ball off the backboard, but an air ball nonetheless. You got to hit the rim from a foot.
He's got one move. It's the right hook.
I know, but
you got to draw a rim.
I think so. I do. I do. I don't think it's too much to ask. That's that baseline stuff, Ravi, that they guarded really well, and that's going to be an and one.
How about the tip in, and again the hustle from Vanderbilt, and the crowd stands.
You know, I like about Vanderbilt, had a bad first half. Did he sulk? No. Why? Because he's a baller. Ballers don't sulk. Ballers just hustle, and you see he just out-muscles and goes to the rim. I love this kid. You win games with a guy like Jared Vanderbilt because he just plays all day.
Calipari compared his effort to that of Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. That's somebody whose motor runs at 1,000 every minute. Hard, and they said that's a hard thing to do. Not everybody can do it.
Look out here. You don't see kids whose motor runs hard. You know what it is a lot with guys with size? Kids that can't shoot play really hard. That's how they get here. Like Vanderbilt is not a shooter. Kid Gilchrist was not a shooter, but they played so hard you just had to play him. Who's that? Is there a baseball version of that? Is that like Pedroia? I mean,
that's sort of the equivalent. We'll see if maybe Alex Bregman, the Astros third baseman, becomes that guy. In baseball, it tends to be the guy that's a little smaller than the Carlos Correas of the world, because they just are physical specimens, and the idea that you're 5'5" and can compete. Jose Altuve is another guy just like that.
Like if Gabriel, who's coming in the game right now, he's a much more skilled kid than Vanderbilt, and really they're kind of the same size. If he did all of the little things that Vanderbilt does, the hustle things, he's not lazy by any stretch. Vanderbilt's just special.
Burnett and Stevens banged into each other. They're going to say that's off of Diallo. Coach Cal looking over at Pat Adams and saying no chance, and the replay up here shows not a good call.
Yeah, if you're a referee, you got to inbound it and let's go. Ooh, could have been a makeup right there.
I thought about it.
Claude Green looking at me. I told him it's a horrible call.
Burnett walks. Yeah, he walked. Good defense by Diallo. Won the deflection out of bounds, and there, using his feet to stay in front of the offensive player. Double box to break. Now back to the full screen as Diallo and company head to the bench. 8 o'clock Eastern time, 8:15 start. It's crazy that they're gone 50 and 50 in their last 100. You see what happened in Carolina last night?
I did.
Barry. Jaquan Newton.
Jaquan Newton with the shot that kids just make now. It's amazing how many kids make that shot. Do you think that Marvin Bagley III is the most selfless player in the country? Do you think he's the most team-oriented guy in the country?
Do you think that?
Oh, man. Congratulations, though. He and Grayson Allen, all academic ACC.
Is there going to be a foul? No, that's going to be Kentucky ball. Like the leaning tower of pizza that just collapsed.
Yeah, it's tough. It's pretty smart by Kentucky. They just put their hands up and closed them off. And next thing you know, you said it right here. Let's see. Diallo.
And boom.
You got to throw it off the game.
8-point game, under 12 to go.
Place wants to jump, doesn't it? A three would open this up for the crowd, right?
Read my mind. Get out of there.
Yeah, I want to go. I don't want to be in there very long.
Pretty move. With the left-handed finger roll from Gilgeous-Alexander, and the lead is 10.
I don't like the zone for Mississippi. I think Mississippi kids want to get after Kentucky a little bit here. And I think the zone, everybody started reaching instead of defending.
Stevens mismatch down low, and the help comes, and a block into row 2 from P.J. Washington.
Wants to reach in here, Ravi. In man-to-man, they were in a stance. They were going pretty hard. You're going to see just on the drive here, just reach, lay up, nobody there. And I love P.J. Washington, man. P.J. Washington is just another guy. Not having a great game, but he impacts it right there.
I read it around, and he throws it down. Wow, over wow, and then Williams-Gabriel pushed him, and he's going to get a technical called on him. Williams-Gabriel lost his composure after he got dunked on hard.
Sports Center top 10.
Well, that was explosive. And he made his mind up at the top of the key that that was going to happen.
Watch this. Watch Tyree. Right pass. Boom. What are you doing? You're right here. He's just going to go dunking on everybody, and then Gabriel just shoves him out of the way with the left hand.
Mike Eads was right there with the action that happened. So a technical foul on Wenyen Gabriel, and you know, a 10-point game, a play like that can really change things for Ole Miss. Free throw from Tyree rattles in. Misses the second.
That took me by surprise, Ravi.
His ability to get up.
Yeah, him dunking that over Gabriel was kind of a shocker, right?
6'2" over 6'9".
Now you got a chance to get back in this game. You don't need a quick three. If the ball will move a little bit, go inside out, you got a chance here if you're Ole Miss.
See if they can free Davis up. This time, Schuler. That's blocked. Good one by Gilgeous-Alexander. It did get out of bounds. Not according to the officials in the stands, it didn't.
A lot of guys went to the old never mind pose. I won't say it, but not happy. Total miscommunication by Vanderbilt. He came running out for some reason, thinking there was a switch. He went 15 to 20 feet, Ravi, out of nowhere.
Guarding against Davis, getting the ball and his hot hand tonight. Then Gilgeous-Alexander turns it over. And an explosive drive to the bucket, no good. Rebound tipped in. And all of a sudden, after the technical, we got ourselves a 3-point ball game. A 7-0 run for Ole Miss and a timeout for Calipari.
Man, did that dunk ignite everything and absolutely shut this building up. Total miss switch. You don't, if you're going to miss a switch, miss it on the bottom guy, not the top guy.
Sports Center after Rockets Clippers on ESPN. Stan and Neil, and of course Anthony Davis. They know him here. He's finishing an incredible February. He only averaged 35 and 12. His Pelicans faced the Spurs. The Rockets and Warriors got road tests. Houston looking for their 14th straight win inside the friendship. Kevin Durant and Michael Beasley as they tell life stories while having dinner together. That's Sports Center, 1 a.m. Eastern, 10 Pacific on ESPN and the ESPN app. We got ourselves a ball game, just 3-point lead for Kentucky. Quade Green had a terrific first half, a little quieter in the second. He's back in the game, and he got the ball in the corner, and he double dribbled and got away with it.
Yeah, he did, and nobody's cutting in the middle of the zone for Kentucky. If they do, they'll get a bucket. Instead, they get a bad shot.
Gabriel tips it, and that worked out well. P.J. Washington.
And that was Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt doing Vanderbilt-type things, man. He just influences the game in so many ways. Kentucky's going to have to figure out somebody when the ball's opposite, flash in the middle, they'll get a layup.
22 points for Davis, drives, and when you go underhand, you got no chance. The run out for Green. Goaltend. Carl Hess says that ball was off the backboard. We'll give 2 points to Quade Green.
Yeah, but what a play by Tyree flying, right?
Tyree's feeling real good.
Oh, man. Hey, Vanderbilt just influenced. Bad shot here. Vanderbilt's battling underneath and just gets a hand on it, keeps it alive. Next thing you know, Washington dunks. I like those two kids.
Vanderbilt had a 7-inch edge over the guy, Tyree, trying to box him out. Stevens one-on-one. Baseline spin move, no good. And loose ball goes to who else? Vanderbilt.
One thing I don't like about Kentucky, and they're going to have to improve on their post defense, not very good. They're not very willing to keep the ball out of the post. Against a good post-up team, they're still going to struggle as we move forward.
Kick.
Man, Gilgeous-Alexander to me doesn't seem comfortable with the basketball. Like, you see what I'm saying, Ravi? The ball's not clean. He's not doing things clean. get in the middle of this, you'll get a layup. There's the middle. Ooh.
Foul on Bruce Stevens.
It's third time they've run that same set, Rav. It's a big on big pin down, cutting the bottom big into the middle of the paint. And Washington got hit so hard he hurt his shoulder.
Stevens picks up foul number 4. Olenichuk getting set to come into the game. Washington Jr. misses a free throw. 62% free throw shooter. Both PJ's parents played basketball at Middle Tennessee State, tournament team this year.
Really good. Kermit Davis, one of the outstanding coaches. We've seen them in the tournament, Ravi.
Yeah. Every trip now at 8:30 to go. Important for Ole Miss. Down 8. Tyree. Schuler. That's good.
Yeah, great offense. That's the old Steve Nash. Drive the baseline, draw the defense, kick it to the corner. One more pass. Next thing you know, 5-point game.
A return 3, and Quade Green in the corner knocks it down. He's got 13.
Yeah, Calipari talks about playing concepts, and then you saw it right there. They set a ball screen. They got Gilgeous-Alexander into the lane. It was just a concept to find the next guy.
Tyree Schuler, the cutter, and he gets it to go. It's a little two-man game going on with Schuler and Tyree.
And Vanderbilt got caught on Schuler, and Schuler just cut right over the top of him and lost him.
Gilgeous-Alexander picked his dribble up.
He'll lob here if he wants.
Diallo will launch. He buries a 3 right in front of his bench. That had to feel good for Hamidou Diallo. Second made field goal of the night, his first 3. We're going to get a foul out top. Looks like it may be on Washington. Nope, Jared Vanderbilt's going to get the call. Only his first.
This big for Kentucky right here. You can get Diallo going. It just gives you another weapon. I think he's played well tonight. Numbers don't show it. Diallo's been good.
It's all about the sell. Thank you, Adnan.
What happened to Tom Crane? You just say the heck with it? I'm out.
Well, after you put him in the Broadcasting Hall of Fame, he said, I'm done. I'm walking off. Speaking of, conferences, what happened to Rhode Island last night?
Oh, my gosh.
What was that? Where'd that come from? They've been great.
And, St. Joe's isn't Jamar Nelson,
Right.
Delonte West. St. Joe's, they're under 500, and my goodness. Tell you what, last week in the season, a lot of weird things have happened over the years. This zone is no good. You got to get in the middle of this zone. You'll get whatever you want.
That's where Gabriel, who's back in the game, goes. What a Green high arcer. We're going to get a foul on the floor. Quade Green reminds me a lot of Ulis. Maybe it's just his size and the comparison there, but there's just a calmness about him.
I thought Ulis, I said when he was a senior that he wasn't one of the top 5 guards in the country, and I was dead wrong. When I watched him play, the more I watched Tyler Ulis play, the better I thought he was. He was so good. Now, the NBA is a little small.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, he's got a ton of heart. If Quade Green becomes Ulis, that'd be pretty good for Kentucky, right?
Yeah. I wouldn't say
he's hurry.
He's not the exact, but he reminds me of him.
Sure.
Again, that could very well just be his height. Davis picks up his scoring in this game. It's classic. Every time Olenichuk gets the ball, 7 others swarm to it like bees to honey. He brings it down.
Yeah.
But how many times has he been in that position tonight?
I'm telling you, he's like the big guy in 6th grade. Gets the ball, everybody hovers. Ten-point
game under 7. Green 3. Ulis 3.
That's why he's one of the all-time greats right there, people. Karl Ravitch.
That'll be a timeout and a 13-point lead for the Wildcats. Get a high five or low five from Coach Calipari. You're doing something right. The largest lead of the night for the Wildcats. Friday Green decides to come here knowing that Gilgeous-Alexander and the lineage of great Kentucky point guards since John Wall. There's some pride. There's pride for anybody that wears a uniform, but you're playing that position on this team knowing we're running, we're moving, we're alley-ooping.
I'm not sure they've had a bigger clutch shooter at Kentucky than Andrew Harrison. Like, that dude made them all late. I'm not even sure I've got the right Harrison. Heck, it might have been his brother. I don't know, but all I know is the one Harrison, I believe it was Andrew, just kept making everything. He beat Michigan with a jump shot. He was absolutely fantastic. And you're right, Rabbi. I mean, Brandon Knight was a 4.0 student, brilliant kid. Marcus Teague is interesting to me. I kind of felt like Marcus Teague might go into the NBA and be a little bit like Rondo was.
Yeah.
You know, just not a scorer, not a shooter, but could find, and kind of fell off the map.
Some help from Washington at Freed, a three-point shot, no good. And how about the rebound by the shortest guy on the floor?
John Calipari was willing to I thought he was willing to let Crawford make that or try that shot. He's 29% three-point shooter. Had made a couple early, and what that means, you make two in a row, that means you're going to have about 6 misses in a row. And they wanted to make sure that Tyree or nobody was going to turn the corner.
Green looking for his 17th point tonight.
Ever since you said Tyler Eulis, he's got 4 in a row. I mean, I don't know about you, but I hate mascots. I mean, I hate them with a passion.
Just in kind of all the time.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what they're doing.
No, it doesn't matter.
And just the fact that one just walked behind you and banged you in the head.
Yeah, they're just evil. Yeah, I hate them. I do. I don't use the word hate very often.
Yeah, that's
but
a strong word.
It is, and I don't use it ever in my life. But mascots, I got to go with it.
All of them, like Philly Fanatic.
Everyone.
Wow. San Diego Chicken?
Didn't like him either.
Yeah, but you hesitated.
I did, because I thought he was going to lose the ball going up as he was shooting Ravi Schuler. He kind of lost it. I thought he might pass it, but yeah, there's nothing good about a mascot ever. Man.
Ooh. I didn't see a foul.
Bad call.
Pat Adams did. And Gilgeous-Alexander will go to the free throw line.
All right, let me ask you this, Ravi. As you look forward here, Kentucky's made a little bit of move. There's still game left. How good do you think Kentucky is?
I think your defense is an issue, although it's funny. Calipari's made such a point of offense, saying to the team, 60 may be good in the beginning of the year, but you get to this point and you get to tournaments, you got to score 70, 75, 80 points. There's been a real emphasis on offense. I just wonder about the team's defense, especially against the team with terrific size.
Well, I say it all the time, you know, Virginia. I know Virginia's great, but if you're going to play games in the 60s in the NCAA tournament, you're opening yourself up for a loss. Because most teams, I don't care who you're playing against, can get to the 60s. So you had better, I totally agree with what Coach Cal's saying. I think if you get to 75 and above, now you're in business.
Right. Assuming Kentucky goes on to win tonight, they will get a bye in the first round, and they will take on the winner of the Ole Miss South Carolina game. Looking forward to being at the SEC semifinals and championship this year with Sean Farnham and Dick Vitale, Laura Rutledge in St. Louis. Three-pointer, needed that one, and it rims out.
Now, if you're Kentucky, you need a really good possession here. You don't need anything quick. Maybe Kevin Knox on the baseline, something going to the rim.
They're going to get a foul on Vanderbilt. A little push in the back.
That's his second and the team's sixth.
You brought up Gilgeous-Alexander. You just watch him and you just go back and you certainly do this all the time, but you watch your son play and you think, like, shoot the ball. You know, you penetrate and shoot it. Sometimes it feels like he's like pass obsessed, you know, and that's why there's a little level of, I could be way off base, but that's what it looks like and feels like.
Look, when you drive it and you're as talented as Gilgeous-Alexander, you should look shot first, because you can always make the pass. And I think you're right. I think floaters, I think him scoring in the lane would be a big-time move, a big-time help to Kentucky.
They're going to get the foul on the reach on Quade Green. That's only his first. You can see it in the game when they do get out and run off either a turnover or a missed shot. It's a different world. You know, they want to do that. That's when they're most comfortable, Kentucky.
Well, they're so athletic, and they're willing passers, which I think is really cool. You know, so many guys right now, think about it, you know, you get into the NBA, what do you think the NBA guys are going to pay attention to? Well, they're going to pay attention to how much I score. No, they don't. And Calipari and his staff do a great job with educating their own team, Ravi, about what it takes. And many times it's what a guy like Vanderbilt gives them. You mentioned Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, same thing.
I asked Cal today, I said, so we were talking about getting these freshmen to eventually buy in, and at some point the light goes off. And I said, so what gives you the credibility? And there are clearly a variety of answers to that. What do you think he said gave him the credibility with the players?
Well, I'm going to say the fact that he coached in the NBA. This is a guess.
No, he pointed around at their practice facility. They have huge posters of all the NBA stars.
Yeah.
And all he did was point to each one of the stars. Yeah. He says, that's why they believe in the things that I say. They don't always listen, and sometimes it takes time. But I thought it could have been the championships, the Final Fours, but it was the players and where they are and the success they've had.
No, I get all that. I was actually... But let me back up. You know, one of the things that he does is he makes a big deal about how much not only his former players are making in the NBA, but you know what else? How much they're giving back, how much they give to charities, how much they've raised for. And I think that's really cool. I think embracing the entire NBA thing has made him special, and it's a perfect place to do that.
Olenichik. It's the free throw. Well, I think the SEC tournament is going to be fantastic.
I think Kentucky's going to get to the final. I think Kentucky's going to win the SEC tournament.
And who would their biggest competition today be?
If this holds up, you know, they got to go through Auburn. I think Auburn's okay, a little bit banged up. Yeah, I don't know. You know, Chiozza, Florida, man. So much experience there. Guards that can go get hot.
Tournament in St. Louis this year, not in Nashville. The alley-oop, good pass, and nearly got stuck up there. Vanderbilt couldn't get it over the rim. Even up 14 with 4:11 to go. Coach Cal wearing out Carl Hess.
Well, he should. I mean, look, you don't want to sit down. 14's nothing.
Tyree got bumped by Green. He's got a little Chiozza in him. Tyree can burst, huh?
That's a great comparison. You're all over it.
Can't just be a one-trick baseball pony. It doesn't work. Doesn't work anymore.
Not in this business, pal.
Too strong.
Well, that came out of his hand like it was shot out of a cannon. As soon as he hit, boom.
Softest shot I ever saw at Northeastern University when Reggie Lewis was a college player. I'd never seen a shot that soft. Like it hit the backboard and you'd never hear it.
Man, Reggie Lewis. Oh, was he good? Malik Sealy. These two guys passed away way too early, but man, oh man, did they play. I was just talking to Lavelle Jordan today, the coach at Butler, and they're playing in the Louis Carnesecca Center. And
Great job by Gilgeous Alexander to draw the two defenders and the dump down to P.J. Washington.
You know, made it great. He got in traffic, Rabbi, and he stayed lower than the defense. So many times guys raise up. He stayed low and played underneath, set his teammate up perfectly. Don't raise up in traffic. Get lower.
Under 4 to go. 3:20. You guys at home get a chance to watch exactly what Dan's talking about. Stay low. Low.
How low can you go?
Stay low.
J-Lo.
Yeah, did you hear that? Late J-Lo going to break.
Hey.
Late.
Fairleigh Dickinson, you know who played at Fairleigh Dickinson? Seth Greenberg.
Yeah, he did.
For Coach Al LaBalbo.
HOF, by the way.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Hall of
Is
Famer.
he?
Yeah, Seth's
What did
in
he
more,
do?
He's in more Hall of Fames than J-Lo will ever be. Seriously.
How about Tom Crean? Just, you know what?
Where did he find those highlights? Where was he digging within the confines of the Bristol campus?
You work with Adnan Burke, man. You got to bring your A game.
Either that or you just got to escape and go searching for NEC highlights.
People hear the name Robert Morris here in Kentucky, they get all shivery.
Those shakes.
Coriopolis, no.
Knox, high arcing baseline jumper, doesn't go.
He struggled a little bit.
When they think about a new coach at Ole Miss and the difficulties of playing in this conference, athletic director talked about, well, our goal is to, when the season ends, find out what seed we are in the NCAA tournament, meaning that's our expectation of the next coach. As Diallo knocks down a three.
Got to look at Tom Crean. I think I'm going to say that about every job. You name a job, I'll say, hey, look, y'all think about Tom Crean. Every job but mine. I'd like to keep this gig for a little bit.
I will say this, two things that both of these schools can look forward to. Terrific baseball seasons from their college teams. Kentucky and Ole Miss are top 10 college baseball teams. And Ole Miss won't be looking much forward to the NCAA basketball postseason, but there's a real good chance they can go deep in baseball postseason, and so can the Wildcats.
SEC or Pac-12 best baseball conference?
I think the SEC is a little better. The top of the Pac-12 with Florida State's tremendous, but the SEC, I mean, Florida's the best team in the country. Florida pitches like the Cubs did when they won the World Series. They got more arms that are first-round picks on that team. Phenomenal what Kevin O'Sullivan has done with the Gators and how he develops arms. You know how many college baseball games we do with the Worldwide Leader?
A couple hundred.
800.
Oh, geez.
800.
I need to get on one of those.
Kentucky,
I want to do an Arizona State game. My friend Tracy Smith is the coach there.
Both Kentucky and Ole Miss Tuesday night, not against each other because that would be impossible, but both had walk-off victories. Ole Miss is 8-0 on the season. Kentucky is 8-1. Last night they both had walk-off victories.
You know what? You know what happened last night in Miami?
Walk-off?
For who?
Not in Miami. Yeah.
Hurricanes and the Heat.
Yeah, but the Hurricanes were at Carolina.
True.
Right. North Carolina Duke, a blockbuster, Sonic style. Tar Heels beat them February 8th. That was a 4-point game in Chapel Hill. Now we're going to Cameron Indoor. Number 9 North Carolina, number 5 Duke. It streams live on the ESPN app. That's Saturday. You know where the most recent walk-off is occurring? Right here.
Some places they have senior night and they honor.
Not here. Nope.
And they bring seniors off the court one by one. This is not that place.
No, but they honored a lot of folks tonight here.
They did. I'll tell you what, my alma mater, Indiana, is the worst in the country at honoring their past. Kentucky is the best I've ever seen. They honored a ton of folks here, past, present. Fantastic job by the people here of Kentucky.
You know who else does a terrific job of honoring their past when it comes to broadcasting? The Syracuse University folks. They take care of theirs.
You can't swing a dead cat without hitting a Syracuse grad somewhere in this industry. Not that I know why you'd swing a dead cat, but if you did, shoot it, Cal.
Now off the hands of Bradley Calipari, and Davis lays it in. Crowd wants him to shoot it, and I'm not sure he's going to take a shot. I'm sure he's not. They're not going to take a shot. Well, it's been fun. It probably was the last time, but it was fun.
Loved it, Bradley.
Just kidding. 96-78, our final score.